Marvel fans, it's Potato Blair again, and we're back for another Marvel World video. I knew that in the previous video that I said it would be the last Marvel World video, but I couldn't think of any other ideas, so I said, yeah, whatever, I'll do one more. Today we'll race 108 countries/territories through 2 maps you haven't seen yet, and 2 maps that you remember from before. Pick your favorite country/territory, and I'll show you the list right now. And that's the list. The other marble represents all the other marbles. And let's get to the first map. Before you subscribe, before I reach the top of the list, please do it before I reach the top of the list. I am almost there. Please, come on, hurry up! Ah! Oh, you just made it. Now let's get to the next map. Alright, this is our first map of today's video. This one's called Island Adventure. And it's made by M2 Fate. I'll notify all the names so that you know what they are, so you can search them up at the Steam Workshop. But anyways, let's get this race started. It will start in 3, 2, 1, and off they go. Here they go, into the funnel. They all go in clean, with Bailey's currently in the lead with Pakistan, into some, pegs right here, with Cook Islands coming with an overtake with Lesotho not too far behind. But there are some marbles that overtook with a faster path, and that marble right now is Bermuda, which is currently first place, with Kuwait, which won in a previous video. But let's see how the race goes. Kinda not doing too good there, but now New Zealand comes in with an overtake and is currently the first one into the giant spinner escalator. It'll take a while to wait, so let's check out the tubes. I think the marbles are about to get released, and indeed they did. None of the marbles took the shortcut right here, which is pretty unfortunate, but Cameroon is the first one to do it, and just because of that, Cameroon is coming in with an overtake. But New Zealand is trying its best to gain it back, but Cameroon is doing pretty good so far. But maybe it won't last any longer, as Kuwait also comes in with an overtake, and just like that, it's in first place. Doing pretty good there, Kuwait, and Cameroon is still not giving up. But Kuwait is currently in a good lead there, but not taking the faster path there. Wait, is this a faster path? But anyways, Kuwait coming up the escalator. Wait, it probably is a faster path. The marbles have to hope to get up the escalators. And Kuwait is still leading, it looks like, as none of the other marbles did. But UK and Romania did. Kuwait coming into the funnel. And it's going off with really high speed. And is currently trying its best to get in. And it looks like Macau is the first one to get in, but UK is now leading in first place. But it might not be any longer, as we're getting closer to the end. And now we're reaching some half-pipe sections. Mako is moving pretty slow there, and UK is still doing its best to catch up and stay first place. And so is Romania, which got sniped in a previous video by Kuwait. And it overtakes United Kingdom and is now in first place. But how much longer will it take? UK tries to do an overtake. It's not doing the best. Bailey's ended up overtaking, and because of that, Bailey's has a big chance of winning. And Bailey's indeed does. And just like that, Bailey's wins this race. Let's spectate Austria, let's spectate New Zealand, it looks like, because it seems like it's going to be finishing top 20. Belarus seems to be closing out top 20, and just like that, this race is almost over. It looks like that'll be just about the end of this race once Faroe Islands and Turkey finish, which they will, and the race ends. Congrats on Bailey's for getting the fastest lap of this race. Congrats on UK for getting second, and congrats on Romania for getting third place. Now let's see the standings so you can see where your country/territory placed. Did I say country? I meant country/territory. And these are all the DNFs. Congrats on all the finishers. These are all the DNFs. Congrats on the finishers. And that's it for this marble race. Let's get to the next map. And we're on the next map. This one's called Ice Outpost. And it is made by Daring Danger. I will be mentioning all the marbles runs, like I said, so that you can check them out at the Steam Workshop. And now let's get this race started. It'll be 10 laps, and let's see how this race will go. Who will win? We don't know who. This will be 10 laps because it's short, and let's get started right now. And now we're into the race, and it looks like the current leading marble right now is Anguilla, but it might not be any longer, which it still is though, as Anguilla is still in a good lead, getting overtaken by Romania and North Korea doing a pretty good race. Pretty even country, I'm not gonna lie, but it's doing pretty good, and maybe it'll be pretty good at marble races. But right now in first place is Angola, and we had our first DNF, which is Russia. But now Slovenia, with a win in a previous video, overtakes and is in first place, taking a bit of a shortcut there, but it wasn't worth it as North Korea comes in with an overtake and is now in first place by pretty much a good amount. But it might not be any longer, as the other marbles are catching up. North Korea is still doing good, doesn't get slowed down by the spinner, and because of that, North Korea is still winning, with Gianna, France, and all the other countries trying to catch up. Gets a bit of a slowdown, and because of that, France comes in with an overtake. Canada seems like it got stuck, so that country's out of here, getting eliminated for this race. North Korea gets a bit of a mess up on the slope, and because of that, France is in a big lead. Wait, North Korea? What happened to France? Where's France? What happened to France? But anyways, North Korea seemed like it slowed down, and because of that, France overtakes. Still doing a good lead, and because of that, France is all still first place with USA in the top 20. Let's spectate that country. It's not doing the best work, it looks like. But now let's spectate back to France, which is now currently first place right now. But North Korea is coming in with an overtake, and because of that, North Korea is coming in winning right now. Okay, maybe it's not winning, but it looks like France overtook North Korea and is in first place now, with North Korea getting overtaken by lots of countries. Gianna overtakes France, and because of that, Gianna's in first place. But France ends up overtaking, skipping anti-gravity, which is probably not the best idea. But France is still in first place, probably not by a lot. The other marbles are catching up though, and France is still winning. Oh, that's a bit of a slowdown in the bumper, the spinners, you know. But France is still in a big lead right there. North Korea probably recovered and is probably first place. But now let's see. Costa Rica seems like it overtook France. And because of that, it's winning. But it might not be any longer as it got slowed down. And Namibia comes in with an overtake. And let's spectate Namibia. Ooh, it's pretty much neck on neck with Costa Rica, which won a previous race, like I said. Ooh, but what a slowdown by Namibia. And because of that, it actually did not lose any placements. Where's Namibia, actually? Namibia's right here. But wait, it looks like Allen Islands probably overtook, but Namibia's still first place, it looks like. Namibia's doing pretty good. Oh, but it's probably not doing too good right here, which it probably really indeed isn't. Azerbaijan gets eliminated because of the red cross, you know, the red thing crossing it. But yeah, Namibia got a slowdown, but it's still in first place with Dominican Republic not too far behind. Still trying to catch up. Looks like Dominican Republic caught up, and it looks like Namibia nearly fell off, but it managed to save itself. But now Dominican Republic overtook Namibia, so Namibia has a lot of overtaking to do. And I think it succeeded, but Ghana is also there, and because of that, Ghana overtakes and is in first place. But Namibia is also neck on its neck, and Ghana, which actually won a previous race, is in first place. How nuts! But anyways, it's still doing pretty good. Just has to hold on for 2 more laps, which it's kind of doing good, but it gets a bit of a slowdown, and now it's kind of losing it. But it's still somehow in first place. Ghana's doing really good. Ghana's actually doing really good, but Namibia is literally on its neck because it's about 100 milliseconds off. But Ghana is still trying its best to catch up, which it's succeeding. What is that noise? I don't know what that noise is, but whatever. We're still continuing on this race. Bit of a slowdown there, but Ghana is still doing pretty good. Okay, that's a bit of a slowdown, but it somehow isn't enough for Ghana to get overtaken. And because of that, Ghana ends up getting its second ever win in this video. Yeah, Ghana won a previous race, and Ghana ends up getting its second ever win. Congrats, Ghana! Now let's spectate other countries like Georgia, which is in 20th place right here. But I guess it ends up finishing the top 20. Let's wait for this race to finish. The race is still going! That is how long this race probably is. But I'm going to end this race once the next marble crosses the finish. The next one I see, I'm going to say Mozambique, which it indeed does. And let's end this race because I'm lazy. First place with its second ever win is Ghana. Second is Saudi Arabia, and third is Kosovo. Let's see the standings so you can see where your country plays, or territory. Looks like Ethiopia got the fastest lap of this race. Congratulations. And these are all the DNFs that you see right here. North Korea DNF'd. That country was first place a while ago. And that's it for this race. Let's get to the next map. And we're on to the next map. It's called Cubis, and it's made by Mr. Pants Ultimate Legwear. You may recognize this map as it's from a previous video. But since you recognize it, yes, it is from a previous video. And we'll race marbles through this in 3 laps. Let's get this race started. The marbles are about to get released, and off they go. And it looks like in the leading placement right now is Cambodia, but it gets overtaken by Muni, which is now in first place, which is trying its best to hold on, but it's probably not doing too good as Cambodia overtakes, with India also overtaking, and also staying first place. And Pakistan is also trying its best, and it's still in first place with India, but now it gets overtaken by Guam. But India takes it back and is now in first place again. But Guam gets in first, and Paraguay also gets in at the same time. And because of that, looks like India ends up slowing down Paraguay. And it looks like all these marbles together end up into the launcher, with the best one getting in is Guam. And because of that, Guam is still in first place. A bunch of the previous winners are pretty ahead. But it looks like Paraguay did the tower section the best. But it's still not first place, but now it is. Paraguay still first place now. But it slows down a bit, and it's still first place. But Albania is also coming in. And Paraguay is still holding on like a bit of a pro, or like a bit of a lucky guy. But Paraguay's still doing a good lead, but Guam, India, and all these other marbles end up getting in there at the same time. But Albania does it best, and is now currently in first place. And it looks like Cyprus ends up taking the faster path, and now Cyprus is currently in first place. Now let's see how Cyprus will lead. It gets a bit of a mess up right there, but it's not too much of a problem for Guinea-Bissau. And Cyprus still first place. And it manages to mess up Curacao, and manages to regain first place from Curacao. But Cyprus is still in a good lead, gets a bit stuck on the spinner, and now Curacao is a bit on its back, and it looks like it overtakes Cyprus. And Cyprus still trying to catch up, but it's moving a bit slow in the spin, this section. And it looks like it's in first place, but Curacao seems like it overtook. But Cyprus ends up moving in like a pro then. And because of that, Cyprus is in first place right now. But not any longer, as there's still a bunch bunch of track to go through. Guadeloupe drops in almost like a pro, but Cameroon also does it like a pro, and Cyprus still leading in first place. Congrats, Cyprus. You're still first place. Let's see how this race will go. Cameroon also tries to overtake, but it kind of fails. Cyprus in a big lead there. Cameroon just got in. But anyways, they both are caught up. Greece seems like it got stuck, so I'm not going to let that one finish. Did it really get stuck? I don't know. Did it really get stuck? But anyway, Cyprus still in the lead, but it's not going to be too long, it looks like. But Cyprus gets a bit held up by the moving blocks, and because of that, Cameroon ends up taking a faster escalator. And because of that, it looks like Cyprus still first place, but Zimbabwe overtakes it. But Cyprus still holding in first place, and still doing a pretty good job, but not doing its best work. And I think Bosnia and Herzegovina probably takes a faster path. And Cyprus not doing too good. Bosnia and Herzegovina ends up taking the faster path, and because of it, Bosnia and Herzegovina is in first place. It holds up Thailand, which was second place, and just like that, Bosnia and Herzegovina is in first place. Did I spell it correctly? I don't know. But anyways, Bosnia is still in a good lead there. The other countries are catching up, though, such territories, you know. There's Ghana, which just got its second ever win in the previous race. But Thailand is also catching up, but Bosnia and Herzegovina is moving in perfectly around those spinners. Really perfectly. And because of that, is in a lead. But Thailand ends up catching up. And now it's the first one into the underwire thing. And Thailand is in first place. But it gets a bit held up by the spinners. And because of that, Bosnia and Herzegovina caught up. But it looks like Thailand ends up getting into the thing, but it ends up failing the landing. And because of that, Bosnia and Herzegovina ends up overtaking, gets a bit stuck by the spinners, which is a loss of time. But it manages to, you know, regain itself. And Thailand ends up taking the faster path, it looks like. But it's not too fast now, as Bosnia is still first place by a lot, and both of these countries will be competing for first place, I'm pretty sure. Thailand ends up moving a bit fast, but it was not enough for it to overtake Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia gets a good launch, and because of that, Bosnia is in a good lead. But it gets a bit held up by the spinners, and Thailand is still caught up, but Bosnia is not giving up on holding first place. It gets into the faster path. Bosnia and Herzegovina is definitely winning this race, it looks like. Gets a bit held up, but I don't think that's any matter, as Bosnia and Herzegovina finishes in first place. Congratulations! Bahrain's also among these marbles, it looks like, so let's spectate that country, and it looks like it's finishing second place. Congrats, Bahrain! The first double winner, which is kind of ironic, but you didn't finish first place, sadly. But anyways, let's wait for this race to finish. I'm going to end this race once DR Congo finishes along with Turkey. That's when I will finish this race. And I don't care about the rest of them. The race is ended. First place with the fastest lap, actually, is Bosnia and Herzegovina. Second is Bahrain. Third is Jamaica. Congrats on USA for getting top 20. Let's reveal the standings so you can see where your country placed. And those are the standings. Sadly, Belarus, Belize, Cocos Islands, and Greece get DNF'd. And Greece gets last place again. But with that said, that's it for this race. Let's get to the next map. And here we are at the final map of today's video. This one's called Mining Station, and it's made by Mr. Pants Ultimate Lagwear. Again. But anyways, this is the last marble race, so you better hope your pick wins. But anyways, good luck, as this 3-lap race will start. But anyways, good luck, as this 3-lap race will start. This is, you can pick your favorite. Congrats on Ghana for getting its second ever win. Congrats on Bailey's and Bosnian getting a win. But anyways, the race started a bit early, but let's get started. As Malta comes in first place, but Benin overtakes, with Jamaica taking a faster path and taking back first place, but maybe not too much as China ends up going into this difficult section with holes, but it looks like it's going in with ease. Probably, but let's see how bad this will be. China does not fall into a hole, but it did not have too much good luck, and it falls into a hole, with Ecuador being the first one to succeed, and also being a country/territory in first place. But anyways, Ecuador coming into the anti-gravity section again, going into the track right here, with Bhutan overtaking it, and Ecuador still trying its best to stay in first, to take back first. And it's so far succeeding as Ecuador is the first one into another anti-gravity section, with Ecuador in first place. But anyways, Ecuador takes the faster path, and because of that, it's in a pretty big lead. And now we're getting into the final part of this lap, with some rocks, some difficult parts, but Bhutan and Iceland didn't seem to care, as they're both pretty much second/third, but Bhutan ends up doing it even better, and is in first place right now. Taking a bit of a track, maybe not, it looks like, but Bhutan's still nailing it, with Switzerland, which is second place, right here. Bhutan fails to take the shortcut, sadly, and it's probably going to get a bit held up, but it surprisingly doesn't, and is surprisingly in first place still, by a lot. But let's see how this will go. Switzerland trying its best to catch up to Bhutan, but it's failing a bit, and Bhutan still in the lead, but it looks like Bhutan ends up falling into a hole, and Switzerland has its chances of being in first place. Yeah, it indeed does, and it fails its chances, and now Fiji has high chances of winning, but now it doesn't, and Iceland also has chances, but Qatar also messes up. Why? Ecuador is also coming in there, but Bhutan ends up still taking back first place. But Ecuador is moving really fast and is probably going to overtake it. Greece got stuck again, how funny. Ecuador overtakes Bhutan and is now in first place right now, doing pretty good there. Let's see how this will go. Ecuador still winning. Let's see. Gets a bit held up by rocks, but not too much, as Ecuador finishes, or at least as Ecuador ends up reaching the final section. Not doing too good. Jamaica got out, and now Ecuador is going to have some competition of keeping first place. It probably does not have too much competition of keeping it. Ecuador, though, takes a faster path, but it looks like it still manages to maintain first place after everything that's happening. But it looks like all these other countries end up overtaking Ecuador, and because of that, Jamaica is now in first place. With all these other countries right there, Jamaica's still in the good lead there. But let's see how this race will go. I never knew this path existed. Where did this path go? I never knew this. But whatever. I'll check that spot after. But let's just let the race finish. Jamaica doing a pretty good job dodging the holes. It's doing pretty good, but it got held up by a bumper, and it falls into a hole, sadly. Ecuador has a chance, and it fails the chance. India also has a chance, but it also fails its chance. UK also manages to get through the holes, and UK is now in first place. But it gets held up by a spinner, and it's not going to get overtaken yet by any countries, but it has 3 big chances. Ecuador comes in with an overtake and is currently in first place by a real lot, actually. And Ecuador is first place by a lot. Let's see how this final part will go. UK gets in. Ecuador is still trying to hold on into first place, but UK is also trying to take back first. Ecuador gets in very fast, and because of that, Ecuador is moving pretty good, trying its best to keep first place, and it probably will succeed. Let's see how this goes. It gets held up, and because of that, Fiji ends up taking a faster path and overtakes Ecuador and wins this entire race. Congratulations, Fiji. Now with that said, let's spectate Israel, which is in 19th place according to the leaderboards. and it looks like it's doing a bit good. Israel still trying its best to... Israel's going to try and finish top 20, but it looks like it's going to fail in that job, and the top 20 is closed. Let's wait for this race to finish. I think Senegal is the last of the finishers, it looks like, so I will end this race once Senegal finishes. Ecuador already finished the race, so that does not matter. But now let's wait for Senegal to finish this race, which it might indeed do. And now that that's out of the way, our final race of this marble video is done. First place with the fastest lap is Fiji. Second is Ecuador, and third is Jamaica. Let's see the standings so you can see where your country/territory placed. And these are all the DNFs. Jersey, Uruguay, New Zealand, Greece, Montenegro, Costa Rica, Poland, Mozambique, DR Congo, Barbados, Tajikistan, and USA did not make it. My home country gets DNF'd in last place again. How sad of a race to end this for USA, my home country. But I am going to end this video right now. I already gave out the subscribe. Please click on the bell so that you get notified for when my future videos come out. And just like that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Wait, I still have one more thing!